Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening for our WACAC Reno Virtual College Fair. My name is Jeff. Certainly appreciate you joining us this evening. We have six institutions that will be presenting. Each will have about 6 minutes. If you haven't joined us before, your videos will be turned off, your microphones will be muted. We cannot see or hear you, but there is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, which you can type in questions at any time to any of the institutions. So please feel free to participate. This is being recorded. You can find the recording about a week from now at the same page where you registered for this fair. So without further ado, I will turn it over to our first university, St. John's College.
Welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. I will share my screen and we can get started. All right, so good evening. My name is Natalie Blaze and I'm an alum and Associate Director of Admissions for St. John's College. Before I get too far along in my presentation, I know I only have 6 minutes, but I'd like to just do a quick sort of survey of our audience members, kind of internally, read through these things. Are you a reader? Are you one of those students who loves to keep talking in class and or at least wants to ask questions? Do you hate when someone tells you what to do? Are you sort of that independent, fiercely independent thinker? Maybe you've done mock trial, model UN, or maybe speech and debate. Do you think of yourself as sort of a creative, divergent thinker? Do you do crafting or long distance running or maybe D&D? If so, please, keep listening to this presentation. So St. John's, there's a lot to kind of talk about in a short period of time, but I'll give you an overview. St. John's College is one college with 2 equal campuses. And I'll talk a little bit about the locations in a moment. But we have, of the spectrum of small liberal arts colleges, we are on the teeny tiny end. We have 800 students between 2 campuses. And we study 7 disciplines across the 4-year curriculum. We are one of the colleges that change lives, one of the CTCL schools, which is a great website and resource for, I think, all students. So a little bit specifically about St. John's, we are sort of known for our inquiry Socratic approach. So all of our classes are in Socratic seminar. There's no lecture halls. The biggest class you'll have is 21 students, and that usually includes 2 professors. We call our professors tutors because they're not sort of fonts of knowledge as much as they are really kind of digging in with us and, in sort of an uncomfortable, like challenging themselves intellectually kind of way. So we use original source texts. So there's books behind me, there's books at the college. We love books, but we really love the ideas in the books and we kind of like to tear them apart and talk about them and really dive into them. So interestingly, we have no departments and no majors. So everyone follows one course of study through the 4 years. And you get to sort of do a deep dive into all of these areas listed here on the slide: philosophy, history, politics, law, literature. But we also do a lot of mathematics and science, but we study science from Newton and from Einstein and mathematics from Lobachevsky and Gödel and different mathematicians throughout the hundreds of years. The 2 locations, this is a photo from our Santa Fe campus. And I like to put this photo in because people think New Mexico, they think maybe desert, but we are actually at the southern tip of the Rocky Mountains. So we're at 7,000 feet elevation, and there's lots of outdoor skiing and hiking, also fantastic food, but it's a really great college town. Our second campus is Annapolis, Maryland. A couple weeks ago on Jeopardy, they had the answer, the third oldest college campus in the United States, and it's St. John's. So they're right on the water. They're right in the historic colonial district of like downtown Annapolis. So it's lots of brick and ivy and very traditional kind of feeling. So a little bit about our student life. We are teeny tiny, but we have lots for students to do on both campuses. This is just a really small, quick sampling of the different activities that students can engage in. They can also start their own clubs. There's lots of support to do that, but there's really something for everyone. Admissions and financial aid. So for those folks that are seniors or juniors that are sort of exploring their options at this time, we do something called holistic admissions. And this might mean a little bit something different for everybody, but we are probably not everybody's cup of tea. So we're really interested in getting to know you as an applicant. we want to get to know you beyond your numbers. We care less about your GPA and more about what kind of thinker you are, what kind of passion do you have, does this kind of program, is it someplace that you think you might thrive? That's kind of interest to us as much as your academic background. We do also ask you to write a supplemental essay to the Common App. And so for us, that's really helpful to kind of get an inside look. We reduced our tuition a year ago. So it's still a lot of money, $35,000, but we also remain committed to providing need-based aid and merit aid. And the good news about that is that your admissions application is also an application for merit aid. So you don't have to fill out something separate for the merit aid consideration. We do take the FAFSA for need-based aid. But we also, because of our size, we're really happy to kind of give you individual attention. And if you need to appeal, if your family circumstances aren't reflected in the FAFSA, I can help you through that process. So a little bit about what others are saying about us. Some of you may not have heard about St. John's before. Forbes magazine calls us the most rigorous college in America. We do pretty okay with Princeton Review and US News and World Report rankings as well. So we're pretty proud of those things. Frank Bruni from the New York Times called us the most contrarian college. So I think that's sort of a blessing and a curse, but we can talk about that a little bit more later. So the question that we get most often is, what can you do with a Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts from St. John's? And it's literally anything you want. You can go into business. You can go, into NASA. We have a recent alum who did an internship and is working at NASA, Stanford, HuffPost, you name it. Our students do well on the LSAT, and we really just want to support our students in addition to their academic experience for those internships and for those fellowships and job shadowing programs. So we're just really excited to kind of, make each student kind of help them navigate that process of what's next. And those are some parting shots of our campuses. So thank you so much for giving me the time to share a little bit about St. John's with you this evening.
Thanks so much. Next up, we'll turn it over to the Evergreen State College.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jeff. I'm going to get my little slideshow pulled up here. All right, perfect. So hi, everyone. My name is Spencer Gaynor. I'm an admissions counselor from the Evergreen State College, as well as a former graduate from Evergreen myself. I graduated in spring of 2019 with a Bachelor's of Arts in Sociology. I had a really amazing experience, and I'm happy to share a little bit about Evergreen with you today. So a little bit about Evergreen, just some general information. We're a really new school, just founded in 1967, and a very small school. We have around 2,500 undergraduate students, and we are one of 29 public liberal arts schools in the United States. That being said, we are on the biggest campus in Washington State, with our campus being 1,000 acres, but only 200 of that is actually built or developed on. So we actually have 800 acres of forest right on campus that a lot of our environmental studies programs will utilize, as well as a bunch of hiking trails, 1.5 miles of our own beach. So a really beautiful big campus, and you can see it in a lot of the pictures here. And we do have both undergraduate and master's programs. So students who want to continue their education, we do have a master's in teaching, a master's in public administration, and a master's in environmental studies program. Just going forward here, one of my favorite parts about our campus, since it's so big, is we do actually have our own 5-acre organic farm right on our campus. So if you're interested in environmental studies, sustainability, agriculture, this is a great place to spend time. Students learn not only kind of the business side of agriculture, but also the soil science and actually how to grow your own produce and things like that. Just a little bit more. Went a little too far there. So we do have housing on campus. So if you're looking to live at Evergreen while you're a student, you definitely can do so. We have both dorms and apartments, and it's really cool. It kind of feels like you're camping for 9 months out of the year, since you're living in this kind of beautiful 1,000-acre campus. So this is just kind of talking, the main idea of this is just to show the idea that we really support students at Evergreen in taking time to figure out exactly what it is they're interested in doing. And the way that we do that is essentially, instead of having majors, students have something called an area of emphasis. And this is because, you know, so many students do change their mind throughout their time in college, and we don't expect people to know exactly what it is that they want to do for the rest of their life. So instead of majors, you basically declare an area of emphasis at the end of your time at Evergreen, but it works similarly to a major. Another thing that makes Evergreen very unique is our kind of academic programs that we have. So instead of enrolling in 4 different classes per se, at Evergreen, students enroll in one 16-credit interdisciplinary program that encompasses multiple different ideas of study. And that is something I benefited from very much. I felt like being able to decide exactly what I wanted to study and being able to do exactly what I was interested in doing really had a big effect on my passion during my educational experience. The other thing that makes Evergreen very unique is the fact that we do not have letter grades. Instead of letter grades, students get narrative evaluations written by their faculty members. And this really benefits you when you go on to apply to grad school or a job one day. And instead of handing someone a transcript that is just a grade point average and a list of grades, you get to hand them all of your faculty evaluations, which almost act as letters of recommendation. So employers and grad schools get a really good idea of what kind of worker you are. Just a few more things about Evergreen here. So we are a member of the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program. So if you graduate with a GPA of 3.5 or higher, you do qualify for resident tuition, which is around $9,000, which is definitely better than the out-of-state tuition rate of around $27,000. That being said, we are a relatively inexpensive school to go to, but there's a little bit of motivation to, you know, really work on that high school GPA. Like I said earlier, we're a really small school, so our student to faculty ratio is around 21:1. And that is something that I always felt like I benefited from, just being able to interact with my faculty members in a really personable way and developing really strong relationships with them to where I could go to them as role models was just so impactful to me. So that's just a little bit about Evergreen. I just want to say thank you so much for being here at this event and taking the time to listen. But I will go ahead and pass it along.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. At the end of the day, we've now got Woodbury University.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen here real quick. Let's see. Let me flip that so you don't see my notes. So there you go. Again, real quick, my name is Omar Sanchez, and I am an admissions counselor and campus recruiter for Woodbury University. And we are a private school. We're located in Southern California, right outside LA, in Burbank. We are one of the oldest private universities here in Southern California. We've been around since 1884. Like I said, private, nonprofit, fully accredited university. So your degree from us has validation all across the world. We had great weather here. We have nationally ranked programs. And also we like to say that we're practice-based education, meaning that one of the ways that we approach that is that we make it a requirement for students to get an internship and complete an internship before graduation. And that way you get some hands-on experience, some real life situations, problem solving skills, and it makes it more marketable for the time after graduation when you're trying to get into the job market. Technically, we have 3 locations. Our main campus is Burbank. That's where we have all of our majors and all of our programs. We have an extension campus in San Diego. That's only for the School of Architecture and only for transfer students. So if you want to go to the San Diego school, you need to go to community college first and then transfer to the School of Architecture in San Diego, which is located in Barrio Logan, historical Mexican American neighborhood south of downtown. The great campus. And then we have the Woohoo Gallery. That's extra space for students to showcase their work, do exhibitions, film nights, that sort of thing. And it's located in Hollywood Boulevard. So again, really cool space for students. We're a really small school. We only have about 1,200 students. but also our classroom size is 9 to 1 on average, nine students to one faculty. Very rarely you're going to see classes that are more than 10 people, and that makes it for like a better learning environment. You get to know your teachers. You can get mentorship opportunities that way as well. And we don't have any impaction problems like other schools that are like too big and they can't receive any more students. We are not impacted at all. We're also a really diverse school. Over 15% of our students are international. 10% of our students are from out of state, and then also 35% of students are of Hispanic descent, which makes us a Hispanic serving institution. And overall, it really reflects how LA looks as being one of the most diverse cities in the world. Uh, and we offer all kinds of services for students to ensure their academic success with us. We have a tutoring center, we have a writing lab, we have a great library, we have a center for disabilities. We also have a health clinic. Overall, all of these offices, all of these services is again to make sure that you're a successful student when you're at Woodbury. And I'm not going to go into the details of all the majors, but this is what we have on the College of Liberal Arts: computer science, history, interdisciplinary studies, political science, professional writing. Public sector administration is what we call our criminal justice program. We have our School of Architecture. It's a great, great program. We have applied computer science and media arts. Architecture, we actually offer a bachelor's of architecture, not a bachelor's of arts in architecture. What's the difference? If you get the BA in architecture, you need to go to grad school to become a licensed architect. With us, you get the bachelor's of art, and then you can become a licensed architect, and we help you. If you want to become a licensed architect, we can help you with that. And then we have also interior design, a great program, and sustainable practices. It's going to be an environmental science degree that it's on the works right now. Our School of Business is fully accredited. We have an AACSB accreditation. Only 5% of the business schools in the world have that. So at Woodbury, you can get a great business education at a great value. We offer accounting, computer information systems, fashion marketing, management, marketing, and our accelerated program, bachelor's and master's of business administration in 4 years. So you can get it all together in a short amount of time versus the typical amount of time that it's like 6 years. And then the School of Media, Culture, and Design, that's what all the arts programs are: animation, communication, fashion design, filmmaking, game art, and design. Just got rank 11 in the nation. So if you're interested in doing video games, this will be a great program for you. Graphic design and psychology. Our application deadline is March 1st. And there's two ways to apply. You can go to woodbury.edu, our official website, and you can also apply through the Common App. Minimal requirements: 2.75 GPA. For regular admissions, we can admit students with a GPA as low as 2.25, but they have to do a transition track or a bridge program. And it's just an extra program to help you navigate the university. Digital portfolio required for animation. And then optional SATs, personal statements, and letter recommendation. Those have always been optional. We encourage you to turn those pieces of information in, but if for some reason you can, it's fine. We would not hold against it. We look more closely at your GPA. And the reason for that is, let me see if I can go to my money part here. Make sure you take a picture of this. This is the money part. Our tuition is just under $42,000 for next year, for academic year 21-22. But we also offer great scholarship packages. If you have a GPA from high school of 3.7 GPA, you get $18,000 automatically every year to attend Woodbury. 3.4 to 369, you get $16,000. 295 to 3.39, you get $10,000, and 2.5 to 2.94, you get $6,000. Again, the higher your grades, the more money you get. Please take a picture of this. That way you can have all the information about our scholarship packages. And this is what a typical a sample financially looks like for a student. But most of the students coming into our school, they're in this bracket: the 3.4 to 369 GPA. They will get the merit scholarship, $16,000, Pell Grant, $6,000, Woodbury Grant, $1,600, the Call Grant, that's for California students, $9,000, and then the Opportunity Grant, another $1,000. And that brings down the tuition to about just under $8,000 a year. So again, make sure you get those good grades. That way you can get our merit scholarships, and then apply to as many scholarships as you can. That way you can get all your cost of attendance cover to attend Woodbury. We have campus tours every day. So go to woodbury.edu to schedule a campus tour. And also my email is right there on the screen. Please email me if you have any more questions, or if I can help you in any way with your application process for Woodbury. If you send me an email, I can get you a waiver. That way you don't have to pay for your application fees. So again, just go check out the sites. And also we have presence in social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So check us out.
Thanks so much, Omar. Appreciate that. Next up is Tiffany with one of our Pepperdine universities.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you guys so much for having us. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for you right now. Again, my name is Tiffany Marmolejo. I am a recruitment advisor at the Pepperdine Graziadio Business School. And I have a special guest for you guys today who's going to introduce herself. Bree, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Bree Jensen, and I am also a recruitment advisor for our Bachelor's of Science in Management program.
Thanks, Bree. So we want to talk to you guys today about Pepperdine University. We are a private Christian university, and we are located in the heart of our Malibu campus. So you can see a picture here. We're always voted most beautiful campus because who wouldn't want to study there, right? So today we're going to be talking about our accreditation. So our school in particular is an AACSB accredited school, meaning that we actually are in the top 5% of business schools all around the world. So when you're looking at your school, definitely look at the accreditation and make sure you're getting a degree that's really worthwhile. In addition to that, today I'm going to be talking specifically about the Bachelor of Science in Management program within the Graziadio Business School. So for those of you who are looking into different majors, we're also known for our law school. And I found out yesterday that we actually have 100% acceptance rate into medical schools as well, even though Pepperdine's not known as a medical school. So on the right-hand side, you'll see my colleague Alex Moses' email. Go ahead and take a picture of that and reach out to him with those specific questions about additional majors. For us today, we're talking again about the Bachelor of Science in Management program. This program in particular is actually for the non-traditional student. So for those of you who can't find the right fit and are looking to start at a community college and then transfer into school, that is definitely still a possibility. So we're going to require 60 units worth of transferable credit, as well as 2 years of paid work experience. Now, my biggest question is what type of work experience? What does that mean? This can be anything under the sun. One of my students this year, she works for Starbucks. I have another student who's owned his own companies and done his own business ventures since he was 18. We also have CFOs and CEOs that are in this program as well. So any type of business experience under the sun, we will take. It is going to be a guaranteed 2-year program. So when you do your 60 units at community college, you're guaranteed to graduate in 2 years with us. In addition to that, transfer requirements. Every school, like you noticed, will have different transfer requirements, different scholarships. For us in particular, we actually work with our students one-on-one to help make sure that they have a successful plan to get into Pepperdine. So we want to make sure that you're taking the right classes, you're on the right track, and we actually will schedule one-on-one Zoom calls with you, go into your course catalogs, and help you decide what's the best fit for me to get me to where I need to be. So again, this is made so that you can be successful in your work life as well as in your educational endeavors. In addition to that, we do have a transfer admission guarantee. So you can go into community college, restart your academic career, and then as long as you can maintain a 2.8 GPA, as long as we have the 2 years of work experience and the 60 units that either Bree or myself or my colleague Hannah will help make sure we guide you to, you'd actually have guaranteed admission to Pepperdine, which is an amazing thing. I'm currently a master's student in the MBA program. So it's a very special place. In addition to that, we do have a joint MBA. So you can, after you graduate with your Bachelor of Science in Management, you can do a master's program in 1 additional year. And the savings on that is going to be amazing. So if you can graduate with your bachelor's and a 3.4 GPA, you'll have the option to move on to a 1-year MBA. If you graduate from me with a 3.7, you'll go ahead and not only get your one-year MBA, but you'll also get a 50% tuition discount, which is amazing. And on top of that, if you graduate with a 3.9 GPA, which yes, our students do because they are that amazing, you actually would get a free MBA. So keep that in mind, some amazing savings, some amazing opportunities, graduating in a total of 5 years with your bachelor's and your master's from Pepperdine. In addition to that, private schools are always known as, hey, you're my dream school, but I can't afford this. So for our students who are working full-time, looking for a fully online program or a program in the West LA campus, we actually will scholarship you based on your incoming GPA, as well as your numbers of years of work experience. So if you see all the way on the left-hand side here, you can receive up to 57% just from Pepperdine alone. And on top of that, any Cal grants, Pell grants, any other financial aid that you qualify for will also be included. So keep that in mind. We can definitely do things to make this more affordable. In addition, you see in the bottom here, we have referral scholarships and other smaller scholarships to help you on top of the 57%. I'm going to go ahead and leave our information up here for a moment. This is myself all the way on the left. All the way on the right, you will see Bree again. Bree, do you have any closing comments before we are almost up with time?
No, I'm just really thankful that we get to work with many of you, and please feel free to reach out. We can start working with you right away, even if you don't have the full units.
Perfect. And last but not least, my biggest advice for all of our students out there is trying to find the right school is the hardest thing. I know. Ask if you can sit in on a class. Ask if you can see the campus virtually. Do something so that you can see what you're signing up for and what your future community will look like. And that's all I have for you guys today. And thank you so much.
Thanks so much, ladies. Appreciate that. Next, we'll turn it over to Malcolm with Butte College. Excuse me.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me? I think you can. So my name is Malcolm Dixon. I'm a recruitment outreach technician from Butte Community College, located in Chico, California. And I just want to just point out that our first slide has Butte College welcomes you, which is a slogan that you will see around campus. We are a campus that embodies students from all sorts of backgrounds. And so we want to make sure we have that messaging front and center as we kick off our presentation. As I said, we're located in Orville, California. So we're close to Chico, California, but this is an image of our main campus. We do have 4 satellite campuses, but our main campus is where you'll find a majority of our programs. It's extremely green around this time of the year when the rain starts to fall, and definitely in the springtime. And you'll also see there are a lot of solar arrays on campus. And so we are the first campus in the United States to be considered grid positive, which means that we are 100% sufficient through our solar arrays, and we actually sell back our power to PG&E to help power the city of Orville. And so we are extremely big on sustainability here at Butte College. As I said earlier, we're located near Chico, California, and we have a map on the left just to give you an idea of where we are proximity-wise. 3 hours from San Francisco, about an hour and a half from Sacramento, and about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from Lake Tahoe. We're a mid-sized community college, and so we have a small student to instructor ratio of 25 students to 1 instructor. And we have over 180 programs to choose from. We are a community college, so we offer both associate's degrees and certifications. We also have guaranteed transfer admission programs to the CSU and UC because we are a 2-year community college. We know a lot of students are thinking about transferring, and so we do have some transfer program agreements with CSU and UC, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And then our closest 4-year institution is going to be California State University, Chico. They're about 15 to 20 minutes from our campus, and so we do have a cross-enrollment program. And if you're interested in attending Chico State, they look at the transfers from Butte College before they look at transfers from other campuses. And so we are a good pathway into Chico State. We kind of joke that you have to try really hard to not go to Chico. If you're at Butte and looking to transfer there, you actually have to just physically get lost. So cross-enrollment program is one of our options that we have for students looking to go to Chico State. We do have something called a Butte College Promise Scholarship, which is 2 years of free tuition for our incoming students. And so if you want more information about that, I'll have my contact info up at the end of the slide and you can reach out. Just to do a quick tuition breakdown, I think that this is important for anybody who's looking at college after or school after high school. We have two different columns. We break it down. We have a cost per unit. And so for someone who's a non-resident, someone who's not a resident of the state of California, you're going to pay $311 per unit. And then you'll also add your student service fee. So we focus on a full-time student. So you'll pay $132 a semester for that. And so if you look at the far right column, we've highlighted the 12 unit and 15 unit mark, but I'll focus on the 12 units. For someone who's a non-resident of California, you will pay $3,864 a semester. Once you've been in California for 366 days and you have an intent to remain in California with a few other requirements, then you will be eligible to become a resident of California. And so then your cost will drop down to $46 per unit after that first year. And so that $46 per unit plus the full-time college fee or the full-time student service fee of $132 for someone who's a California resident will be $684. So that's what you will be paying per semester your second year after you've been in the state for a year. In regards to different options that we have, college is a pathway to a career for a lot of folks. And so we have 3 different ways that we help students get to their career of choice. We understand at community colleges that, students are coming from a lot of diverse backgrounds. And so some folks may not be interested in focusing on subjects like English, math, engineering. And so you may be more of a hands-on learner. And so we do have a lot of certification programs, which will focus mostly on students taking their coursework in specialized employment preparatory courses. So subjects like nursing, firefighting, law enforcement, welding. These are examples of some of the certification programs that we offer. And these are about a year to a year and a half. Once you graduate with your certificate, you're ready to go into the workforce. We've also got our degree programs. So we have 2-year associate degrees, and these are designed for students who do want to work on getting some skill sets and employment inside of a career of choice, but also doing general education. So these take about 2 years to complete. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of students who come to community college are looking to transfer. And so we do have a transfer pathway. We do have a few different transfer programs. I mentioned cross enrollment to Chico State earlier, but we also do have an associate degree for transfer for anybody who's looking to go to another CSU other than Chico State. This guarantees that you transfer to the CSU of your choice after 2 years. And then after you complete your bachelor's, you'll be done in 4 years. And then we have our tag admission guarantees, our transfer admission guarantees, which are with the UC system. And so with these, if you complete a tag, then you will know for sure that you're going to the UC of choice once you finish up your last semester at Butte College. So it's nice just to have that security if you're looking to go to a UC. As I mentioned earlier, we do have certification programs. And so this is a list of our career and academic programs that have additional steps that you will need to apply. So some of them you can just apply, start taking, you just fill out a regular application, but there are a handful of them that do have applications specific to the academy or program of interest. So automotive, fire academy, cosmetology, our HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, are just a few examples. As I mentioned earlier, we're about 15-20 minutes away from Chico and Chico State. And so a lot of our student population do live in the Chico area. It's a very outdoorsy community. So we have our Bidwell Park area where you can do hiking and swimming. And then we've got our downtown Chico area with the Thursday night market. If you're looking to apply to Butte College, application is open right now and it is free to apply. And I have my contact information right here on the screen. Thank you for your time. And Jeff, take it away.
Thanks so much, Malcolm. Appreciate that. And our last institution this evening is Central Washington University.
Hi there. Just give me one moment. Let me get this going. Alrighty, so my name is Andrea Solis and I am the admissions counselor for Central Washington University. My contact information is on the screen, but you can also find it at the end as well. So we get our name because we are in the center of Washington State, big surprise, specifically in Ellensburg, Washington. A lot of people, if you've been to the state, just know that we are about an hour and a half away from the SeaTac airport and from the Seattle area. So it's not too far. And we also have public transit that goes between the two. So if you do decide to come to Central and you're not bringing a car with you, it is easy to travel back and forth. We are, again, in the center of the state, so it brings endless opportunities to go out and explore our beautiful state. And most of the time when people think of Washington, they think of rain. But because we are on the east side of the mountains, we actually get 300 days of sunshine a year, which is great. And we also get all 4 seasons, which again can be a little bit different from the Nevada area and even from Western Washington. But because of our location, we have these great things. So there's skiing and snowboarding, which is 30 minutes away. There's hiking, river rafting, biking. We have a famous concert venue called The Gorge, which again is about 40 minutes away. And again, we're an hour and a half away from Seattle. We are 3 hours from Spokane and 4 hours from Portland. So anywhere you wanted to go, you can get there really easily and maximize your experience at Central Washington University. So at Central, we are considered a medium-sized school, and we have around 12,200 students on our campus. Our average class size is about 25 students and a faculty to student ratio of 19:1. And really what all of this means is that our classes allow you to have smaller class sizes where you can really engage in conversations with your classmates. Your professors get to know you because all of our classes are taught by professors and not teaching assistants. And that way they can really help you achieve your goals. When it comes to academics, we have over 135 majors and programs to choose from. And our programs are non-impacted. So you can definitely get into the program of your dreams, and then you get in and out within 4 to 5 years, depending on that program. We also do real world experience and allow students as undergrads to conduct and publish research. Over in the corner, I also included some of our unique majors, aviation management being one of them, as well as global wine studies and craft brewing, because the eastern side of Washington, because of different environmental changes, we are kind of becoming a huge wine and beer capital. So it's great for those industries. And then I've also included some of our top majors. So those would include business, education, music, and the sciences. And the one thing I will say about our music program, in addition to our theater program, those are the only 2 programs where you need to audition first to get into that major. All of our other programs, you can definitely take your time your first year or 2, explore what you're passionate about, and then declare a major. And then on here as well for our size, just for those who are interested in athletics, we are NCAA Division II. So how to apply? We have our own online application. You can find it at our website. We have a $60 application fee as well as a fee waiver option if you qualify. What we'll need is your official high school or college transcripts. And something new for us this year is the SAT or ACT is completely optional. We also do a holistic review process. So these are all just small components that we look at, but we look at all of it equally. We also will have a personal statement as part of that holistic process for students who have below a 3.0 GPA. And then we also guarantee admissions for students who have a 3.0 cumulative GPA or above. So again, we guarantee admissions to those students, but they've also have to meet CATER requirements. And if you've never heard of CATER requirements, these are college academic distribution requirements. They might look really similar to your high school graduation requirements, meaning 4 years of English, 4 years math, 2 years of the same world language, 2 years of a science with one of them being a lab science, and then 3 years of social sciences. These are history classes or social studies, civics, psychology, and then finally 1 year of fine visual or performing arts. And all of this can be done by our priority deadline, which is March 1st, but we do have rolling admissions, meaning that we will continue to accept applications and admit students all the way up until classes start next fall. But I highly recommend that you don't wait around and that you meet it by our priority deadline. It's just one less thing you have to worry about your senior year. All right, I really want to talk about the WUI quickly. So if you've never heard of the WUI, it's the Western Undergraduate Exchange. It's where students from qualifying states such as Nevada will pay 150% of in-state tuition. So all you have to do in order to get WUI is apply by March 1st and commit to Central Washington University by June 1st, and you are guaranteed to pay the WUI price. And over here, you can see that I've broken down the WUI tuition and fees, which is roughly around $12,000, and compared that to the number right below, which is our non-resident tuition and fees. So for all of those students coming to us from like the East Coast, that's the price they're going to pay, for a total savings of around $10,500. And I want to go, really quickly so that you know, we have different online resources and experiences that you can engage in. You could make admissions counselor appointments with us, virtual tours. We also have Fall Preview Day coming up at the end of October. And again, my contact information, in case you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thanks so much. I want to thank all of our presenters this evening and institutions for being a part of this. Certainly, you did a great job. This has been recorded, so at the end of the day, you can get it in about a week's time frame on the same page that you registered. Thank you for attending this evening. Thank you to the universities for participating, and everybody have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.